with the 3 inhibs.
Well, our next game will be Mythos versus Clique, so we have a completely different set of rosters on our hands here.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, where are we keeping our eyes?
yeah. I would say Bendix on the side of Clique is probably the S
Hmm.
plus player of the entire tournament. He is a really, really good mid laner. He should be in some mid level national team or whatever. It's really surprising that he's here, but it's great for Clique to manage to bring him up. He'll be a really standout player for them, we hope, and that's where I'd probably see Clique winning most of their games. They still have a great team other than that, but he
Hmm.
really is a standout player.
Is there any shining star on the side of Mythos, or is this something where we're just like, yeah, we're thinking it's probably just Clique?
I would really give it to Clique. The only thing I'd maybe see the bot lane doing something quite well. The bot lane from Clique is okay, but maybe that's where Mythos can maybe take it to them a little bit more. I really like the top side from Clique. I think Akaz is a really strong solo laner. I think he'll be able to hold himself well against Extra Cheeky as well if a lot of resources are going into the mid lane as they should. But I think Mythos could win it, but it's definitely heavily favored to the side of Clique.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see how the game will play out. The last time we thought that would just be a pretty easy game for Viperio, and it turned out to be really back and forth and almost won by Lance Creed if they could have held out a little bit longer. But we are into Champion Select for our second game of the night, and it is Mythos versus Clique.
Yeah, so I'm just going to bring up the little graphics so if it's more helpful for people. And we got Silas banned away.
Yep, first ban of the game will be the Silas, and has a bit of flexibility, can go towards that mid lane, towards that jungle role as well. And Sejuani, another high priority jungler, taken off the table.
Yeah, no, I mean, we saw it in the last game. Really oppressive. Dakin managed to perform extremely well on there, and I'm not surprised it being taken away. It is a really top tier jungle right now, and it's probably the only tank that is really, really strong at the moment. So definitely smart to be banning that away.
And then the Sivir also taken off the table. That classic 500 CS Sivir win condition will not be available today, nor will the Yasuo, taken away from both Ollie and Insoy. Has that bit of flexibility to it as well.
Yeah, no, quite a specific pick to be taking away there. Sivir as another expected ban, and Azir. I'm glad to see Azir being taken away again.
No Azir Corki here today, guys. We're not going to have that in this game, at least. Might have it in a couple of our other games later on. And Aurelia also taken away, and could be the Karma locked in for the side of Mythos.
Yeah, no, great safe flexibility there. Good first pick to be brought out. Pretty strong in the meta at the moment. Like it.
And it will actually be locked in, and we'll have to wait and see where that will go. It's almost Quadra Flex because we've seen it in the 80 carry position as well, but it's not as common. It goes top, mid, and support mostly. How do you think that they'll respond?
I mean, you see that they just locked in the Yuumi, a really, really strong pick, and Jarvan as well. Big, big pick for Pravius. It's one of his most played. He's had a lot of success on it. And Yuumi also being brought up as well. I think Satanel's got quite a few games on that, and it's also just really strong in the meta right now. I really like this response from Clique, actually.
And unfortunately for Clique, they can't have the Sivir Yuumi bot lane, but they can have the Ezreal Yuumi bot lane, they can have the Lucian Yuumi bot lane. Pretty much anyone goes with Yuumi. Yuumi kind of attaches to anyone that she wants. Jarvan being locked in, great engage for him. Bit of flexibility still can go to Akers in that top side, but I think everyone at home is hoping for something like the Gnar for him. He's known for his Gnar pick. Cassiopeia locked in for Insoy.
Yeah, and also, I don't see OSP being a bruiser bot lane player with the Yuumi, but it's still a possibility. It could still happen.
You mean like the Garen?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I'd love to see it. I think it really spices up the game. I love watching it play out. It's just a lot of fun, and we do see a hold pick being put in there. I'll just see if we can get confirmation of what that is.
That has to be a whole pick. It could be an Amumu. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it pop up on his op.gg, I don't think, but who knows?
Just have to wait and see for confirmation on that. And looks like it will be the Oriana locked in for Bendix.
Yeah, we were talking about comfort picks. I wasn't expecting it to be coming out of Bendix, but for him, that's one of his most played champions, I believe. He's had a lot of success on that one as well, and it's great to be seeing both Pravis and Bendix preferring those comfort picks. I think it can I think that could be a really, really good mid-jungle duo on those two.
Now we're into the second round of ban rotations. See where they'll put the priority here. It will be the Caitlyn taken off the board first.
Yeah, no, big ADC pick to be taken off. I think that's a great pick for Ollie, and it's good to be seeing it taken away. It's not really going to be pairing up very well with the Yuumi either, so yeah, it makes sense to ban.
And now the Gnar taken away that we mentioned earlier. Akers plays quite a lot of Gnar, so good to see that taken off the table, and it'll be responded with the Kai'Sa.
Yeah, another great takeaway from Ollie. They're just banning out as many ADCs as they can. Maybe that means they are going to be going for that Bruiser bot, or the Vayne potentially as well, but another, again, not being taken away from Akers, that's a huge pick for him. He's had a lot of success in solo queue, a lot of success in competitive on that one as well.
Now, I'm starting to wonder what it leaves for Akers in that top side. Nico now taken away as well. You can't go AP Nico, you can't go on hit Nico.
Yeah.
Draven.
Yeah, big pickup for OSP there. Really flexing it with the Draven, with the Yuumi, and great combo actually. Going back to the bans actually for Gnar and Nico, Akers is seen as a little bit of a ranged top of user, so throwing a bit of shade onto him there. But he's not going to be allowed to play his two favorite picks in that regard there.
Fortunately for him, he has to go down onto something that he isn't as comfortable on as the Gnar and Nico, but just a little bit of troll there on the side of Clique with the Ghost cleanse from previous and OSP. Tristana locked in, can go mid lane, but expecting that Kaya for Ollie at this point.
Yeah, and we still haven't gotten confirmation for what the Amumu is yet. We'll look to see if we can get that soon.
And Kennen, good blind pick. Can go attack speed on hit, can go AP as well if they need it, but I think they have enough AP on the team already, leaving just Tristana as the AD part of their team. Might be a little bit too much AP on the team then, but Aatrox gets locked in.
Yeah, and that's a great lock-in for the top lane. Aatrox still very, very strong. Akers, big player of the Aatrox as well, and it can be a pretty good matchup for them as well. We will get confirmation of that Amumu pick soon, hopefully. I'm just going to ask him it.
Yeah, just ask.
Just ask. I assume they would have messaged the enemy team anyway, so it's fine. We'll just get confirmation of that for the rest of the stream. Vi. Okay, Vi. That's great. Okay.
And the Vi is actually something that I really like because Atto plays a lot of Vi in his solo queue, so I'm dying to see how he will pilot that in a competitive game.
Yeah, and we see like a lot of them actually, like we said, going for the comfort picks. Aatrox, J4, both the most played on Akers and Previous. Vi coming in as well. I am surprised to be seeing Extra Cheeky not go towards more of the bruises that he's been playing. He is a little bit of a Darius one trick in solo queue, but it's nice to see him not go to that.
Yeah, you don't really see Darius that much in competitive, so it's a bit more competitive meta to go with the Karma.
Oh, has he not gone on the Kennen?
Oh, sorry, the Kennen. Sorry, yes. Of course it's Kennen. Of course it's Kennen, yes.
Yeah, so that'll also be... Was the Karma in mid lane or was it support?
Karma must have been support because Cassiopeia was locked in already.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay. So it's a bot lane of... It's alright, we'll figure it out as the teams span in here.
When there's some placeholders in, I always kind of am doubting my mind as to what is actually already been locked in. It's just hovering the Blitzcrank just to toy with us. It's not going to be the Blitzcrank. Yeah. It's going to be the Kennen locked in.
Yeah, there we go. We're starting to see things a bit more there. And the Nunu hover coming out, a little bit of it.
Just go Nunu.
Why not? Why not? I mean, we'll see him take the...
It changes summoners as well, so it's the Disco Nunu sort of summoners.
Ghost Disco Nunu. He's doing it for the stream.
So how do you think that this Jarvan Vi jungle pressure will play out?
I do see the Jarvan Previous playing really strong to the top side. I think that's where his standout players are in Akers and Bendix, as well as being able to influence those matchups to his best extent. The Aatrox Kennen matchup, if he gets in there, he will be able to create a lot of pressure. Similarly with mid lane, he can punish a Cassiopeia very well. Um, Cassiopeia no escapes. If it's level 6 Jarvan, hop straight onto her, we'll have to blow the flash. And if not, he's going to be dying. Great combo with the Orianna as well.
Hmm.
I do see Clique really pressuring this top side.
But remember that Aatrox now doesn't have his revival on his passive, so his ultimate will just give him the additional movement speed and the additional damage. He cannot get a reset. He cannot come back to life. Only thing that can happen is Zillion ultimate or GA to try and bring him back to life.
Yeah, I think
So
arguably the change to remove the revive actually kind of made him stronger. The revive previously, it sometimes wouldn't matter because you die anyway, or it would just be, yeah, you're saving yourself. The extra healing that you're getting off it, some might argue even makes it stronger. So really, really strong picks. I do really like the draft from Clique coming out. Although they are playing strong topside, that Draven and Yumi does suggest that they are going to be paying attention to the bot side as well. Bendix will be quite comfortable in the Orianna to just sit back and maybe influence the other lanes when he can.
we have to keep our eye on Bendix. You said at the start that Bendix is that S plus player for the league, that you wouldn't be surprised if he was picked up by a mid-tier national team. So keep our eyes on that mid lane, see how that plays out, both as of right now going with teleports. So not going with any sort of aggressive summoners in that mid lane. So just go farm out a little bit, even though we know that Orianna has quite a decent early game with the amount of damage coming out from her auto attacks with the clockwork windup.
Yeah, definitely. And I would actually, if I look towards the bot side for Mythos, is where I would see them maybe be able to stack up to them if they can hold that Draven and not allow him to get any kills, not allow the Yumi to gain pressure in lane. I think they would be able to come back out with that. Tristana obviously strong in other lanes, probably still quite strong in ADC at the moment as well.
So, do you think that they're going to put the pressure towards the bottom side? Earlier on, you were saying that they might want to put the pressure towards the top side. Kennen, low mobility. Aatrox, also a low mobility, sort of carrying that top side.
Yeah, I think that Atto should probably try and focus the bot side. Maybe he can equal out. I'm trying to think with the 2v2 who would win in the early game between the Vi, the Jarvan, and the Aatrox. I probably have to give it to Previous and Akers, actually. I think they'll probably know the champions just a bit better. Vi, big one trick for Atto, but I think that the Aatrox and J4 will be able to muscle that back out.
And are we hoping for Kennen to go attack speed on hit Kennen, or do you think that it's just going to be more for the team fight, go for the full AP, try and get the backline flank and just blow everyone up?
I think the team fight from them will be really scary if he does choose to go for that AP. I think that'd probably be the best way to go about it in this. Although the team fight from Clique is also really strong, maybe it would be better to go for that split push, just try and get a bit of gold into him and see if he can beat out Akers in the 1v1 matchup.
Do you think that's possible? Akers is coming into this tournament really hyped. He's one of our best top laners in the league by some measures. And do you think that extra cheeky can maybe win that out if he does go for the dark speed cannon?
I wouldn't expect it. I'd still expect Akers to be able to hold himself, even if there's a lot of jungle pressure there from Atto. I think he would still be able to win it. But I guess we'll have to see.
We will indeed. And how do you expect this bot lane to play out? Or do you expect the Draven to have the early pressure because he has the Yumi poke as well with the Prowling Projectile? But then on the other side, Tristana has a lot of wave clear, Karma has a lot of push and a lot of poke as well.
I would edge it towards OSP and Sathanel for that one, actually. I think they will be able to apply a lot of pressure. I see them being able to push up quite easily and be able to handle the Karma and Tristana as well. They'll probably be pushed in early game just because of that passive in the Karma cube, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how these lanes play out. And just a few more seconds for the spectator delay. It's not something that we love waiting for, but it's something that we kind of have to when we're not playing on the tournament realm. And do we expect any maybe cheeky invades, any plays level 1? It doesn't look like either side really has a lot to speak of for hard CC in the early part.
No, I think things will be quite chilled out, probably just quite a standard setup for level 1s. I think we'll be expecting anything. Kennen might try to get a few cheeky klepto stacks if he gets lucky.
Yeah, maybe he can. But sometimes he might want to not bite off more than he could chew accidentally, even if he might run face first into a J4 and Aatrox and somehow get CC'd, maybe below a flash. You know, these things happen. And he actually doesn't even go for Klepto, he goes for Airy.
Oh, okay, fair enough. He is really trying to win that 1v1 matchup then. Maybe we can expect to see Via pop up in that lane quite a lot, try and snowball that. If they do win that out, it does provide them more options, definitely. I think area is still viable on Kennen if you are really going for that hard 1v1. I think against Akers and Previous, they're going to have a hard time.
Yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes on that top lane, and Summonary also in the hands of Bendix, and then press the attack for the Draven. Normally we see Kleptomancy for a Draven, but we'll have to see how it plays out. We did see an Aftershock Draven in the LEC the other day, so it's not something that's totally out of the realms of possibility.
Yeah, we do see a pause coming through straight away for the game. I'll wait until you're in before we start, but nothing's happening at the moment.
Yeah, no, I'm into the game perfectly on time this time. So we're not going to be waiting around too long, hopefully. I don't think it was said in the chat what is going on. It's just a relog from Bendix, actually. So we'll just have to wait for him to relog onto his client before we get started in the game. So where are we keeping our eyes on the first couple of minutes? We're just focusing maybe on the junglers.
Yeah, definitely. I think we probably want to be focusing on the top side with that Airy. He's gonna be wanting to try and win out that early game without the Klepto. I think that just means that the junglers will be aiming to go top side. It might be similar to last game where we see things play out quite early game depending on how that goes. And we do see Bendix reconnecting there, so hopefully we'll get in soon.
Just a little bit of just a little bit of teasing back and forth in the chat there. So we will be getting back into the game as soon as we can. Both teams seem to be ready, but neither team has selected to unpause just yet.
Ah, there we go.
So now, finally, we are on to the Rift for our second game of the day between Mythos and Clique, and it should be a barn burner.
Yeah, I would expect Clique to come out with it. I do peg them as one of the top teams within the league. They do have a lot of experienced names. I think they're probably one of the most... you can probably look at all of the players and predict how well each of them will do within the league. I think everyone's seen enough from all of them to be able to know what to expect. Bendix especially, Akers having a UKLC split. As I see those as ones that you can see as really flying off with the game against some of these sort of lower tier players.
Yeah, some of these do have a little bit of a legacy built up already. But usual lines of scrims coming out from both teams with the... just trying to establish a little bit of vision as well. With the control ward, with the regular ward down from Ollie in that tri-brush in the bottom side, just to make sure that there's no cheeky invades coming out from Clique.
Mm.
Now, where are these junglers going to start off?
See, both of them trying to start on the top side, so looking to impact this bot lane potentially early. We'll see the paths come out. I know Previous likes to boast how he knows where the enemy jungler is all the time, so hopefully he'll be able to predict those things out, be able to tell where Vi is at any point in the game and counter.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. It looked like both bot lanes were going to pretend that they were leashing their junglers, but they'll just go to the lane and meet the wave instead. Gonna get a little bit of trading back and forth already in the bot and in the mid. Now stacking the axes, I should say, in the bottom side. Might be able to get a level 2 gank, but already has the ward in that tri-brush. I'm not sure if it timed out before they spotted him.
Yeah, and they are a little bit pushed up here. It's going to be a little bit different with Previous to going, but he's going in.
Flash with the flag and drag will manage to get away with the rocket jump. Luckily, he took that level 1. I think he was holding off on his level up just to be sure that he could get away. Doesn't need to burn the flash, doesn't need to burn the heal just yet.
Yeah, no, and it's unfortunate that Previous wasn't there just in time with the EQ to be able to actually cancel the W from Tristana, but very, very early gank coming in through from Previous there. Very unfortunate that they didn't manage to get anything off of it, but it's nice to see a bit of early aggression.
And we can see the mechanics coming from Satinel as well, doing the on tether, auto attack, then tether back sort of mechanic that we don't see in lower tier teams or lower tier Yumi players, and it's something that's quite crucial to get that extra damage down. And just trying to hold themselves by this tower now for the side of Mythos, managing to farm up as best they can.
You do see Previous going in there for a little bit of ward. He is trying to spot out. He does actually see Vi on the ward taking the Raptors there, but he is just going to fall back, go onto his Scuttle when it spawns.
At least he can keep track of the Vi now, but he's behind on CS, he's behind on experience as well, so gonna be in a little bit of a rough spot as Ollie is taking so much damage from this poke from OSP.
Yeah, unfortunately, Previous being behind, that is the risk that you take with such an early gank. Didn't pay off for them, but OSP and Satinol still managing to be able to provide a lot of pressure. They did gain a small CS lead there of 3 after all the waves have been taken, so it's not going too bad. Still gold, very even.
The gold is quite even, but the health bars are quite low on the side of the Mythos bot lane, and Satinol doesn't have a lot of mana, but still managing to get a lot of decent poke down.
Yeah.
Still throwing out those axes, forcing them as far in underneath the tower as possible, just trying to elongate the gold difference, the CS difference between the two AD carries, and it's not going as well as we kind of might have expected for OSP, but they have pressure, they have kill pressure as well if they want to go all in because they have the Ignite on Satinol as well, so one false step from the side of Mythos and it can go so wrong so quick.
You see, oh.
This might be it. Ollie's so low, has to flash away, just showing respect for the engage from Atto.
Yeah, very good to get away from that one, and we do see a bit... Oh, okay, they're backed off. Yeah, no, great little bit of action in the bot lane there. OSP getting them very low. They are still very low, but the Vi is hanging around. She's going to be coming back, but they do have it warded.
We'll spot her out, but doesn't have a lot of mana for OSP or for Satinol, even with the low health bars from Ollie and Mulu, so... With the wave in the area that it is, they can't push that far forward without being punished by Atto.
I mean, Aka's still managing to actually hold... If he gets all 3 of these, he'll have about a 10 CS lead. It's very impressive considering the area. He did take Doran's shield to be able to hold up against it, but that area is not looking too hot, really.
It's kind of what we expected from Akers, though, as this UKLC top laner, and against Extra Cheeky, one of the sort of unknown top laners, or lesser known top laners. It's kind of what we expected of him. Might be able to pick up this extra 4 and then have that 11 or 12 CS advantage.
Yeah, no, that's looking really great. Like 10 CS this early on is very good for Akers to come in. But they do take the dragon on the blue side as well. Good early pickup that may not have been spotted from the red side.
Now the teleport coming in for OSP in the bot side will bring Satinol with him, so they get an early push on the wave, might be able to deny some of the CS from Ollie, but both AD carries can back and pick up a BF sword, so that is crucial. Will keep level with the AD output.
Yeah, and we do see the gold lead of about 500 starting to creep in for Clique now, as we would expect with the better individual players as we see.
It's nothing too surprising at this early stage, and only that one gank from either side, and didn't really work out for either jungler. But Previous into the enemy jungle here towards that western side quadrant, and will be pinged out, spotted out by a ward.
Yeah, just seeing a lot of action down in the bot lane. OSP really managing to push it in. Hasn't gained as much of a CS lead as you'd hope, but he has been providing a lot of early aggression and a lot of great trades in there.
Going for more aggressive trades as the bomb goes down. Goes aggressive with the rocket jump. This could be first blood coming through. One more auto attack will do it. Mythos picks up first blood, looking for a double hook, but is in the minion wave.
And just as I start to give him props, they turn around. Ollie goes in there and he gets the first blood.
Super aggressive. Actually manages to get the flag and drag to safety as Previous did go a little bit too deep into the jungle there of the enemy, and so I'm just going to be donating over this blue buff now. That will help him out a lot in the lane, a little bit more sustained with the mana, and help with the trades with Bendix.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, now with this kill taken up, that's really going to help out Ollie to sustain through a bit more. He's going to be able to get to his items a lot sooner than OSP, and I think that should be okay in the bot lane now, really.
And now it's almost 500 extra gold in the pocket of Ollie, And more importantly, it takes down a lot of stacks from OSP, the stacks of adoration, that passive from Draven that can just help him out so much if he gets one kill, even if he's waiting 5, 10, 15 minutes for it to get it. If he doesn't die in that interim, he just gets so much free gold, and now there's very little gold that he'll be picking up at this time if he were to get a kill.
And we do, again, we see the CS deficit top lane building up and building up. He's going to be able to get... He's only going to be able to get... Oh, he's got 2, actually. Fair enough. It's still 10 CS lead in the top lane. Good for Macca's. Small one building up in the mid lane as well. Still not very much action in the game, but that first blood from bot lane is going to be quite impactful.
Definitely will, and you're relying on Akers and Bendix now to be the main carries. Draven just waiting to start to come online, and he does have a little bit of a discrepancy between himself and the enemy AD carry, the Tristana, in terms of damage. Pickaxe and BF sword to BF sword and a long sword. He does have boots for himself, so he is a little bit more mobile, but that won't help him out hugely.
You see Vi coming down into the bot lane. She is just going to sit out a little bit. They are ready. They haven't seen her yet on any wards.
Yeah, I'm just going to go really aggressive here. Has the ultimate available, but just hops over the wall with the Q and
just has a little hello to OSP and Saturn.
Yeah, why not? Just like, hey, how's it going? I'm towards the bot side. Just let you know where I am. And as that happens, Akers walked down, got some extra vision into the western side quadrant of the jungle just to make sure that they know where Ado is if he does go towards that side. So otherwise, they'll know that he's in his bot side quadrant.
Yeah, definitely a great move from Macca's there, just seeing the Vi's on the other side of the map. We do see Previous hovering around that bot side. Everything, they are all both laners, both teams really putting their eggs into the bot lane basket, it seems, at the moment.
So far, it's paying off for Mythos, and they do have that 400 or 500 gold lead, mostly in the bottom side, and they are a little bit behind in the top and in the mid, as we previously mentioned, so that's where the discrepancy is. Now looking forward to clear away some of the vision here, just establish some of their own as well, and try and actually get a lead and snowball it.
Yeah, good moves here just to clear out the vision. They are going to start to move into that red side, but Vi and Jarvan just both hovering around that bot side as much as they can.
Extra cheeky, has his fancy boots on, just gonna try and walk away from everything here. Throws out the chains, but not be able to find anything. Gets a nice amount of chip damage, but it looks like he's going for AP cannon, so he's not playing to win that laning phase. He's playing to win the team fights.
Oh, have we got the action here?
Yeah, gets the knock up with the ultimate. He should be going down, and he will. Previous in the enemy jungle, trying to steal away the chickens. He gets his chicken dinner, but he goes down. And Ado picks up his first kill of the game. Looking for a pick on the bottom side, though. To me, jumps forward. Out comes the Foul Chapter as well. Has a lot of damage. Picks up the kill. It goes over to the Yumi. Looking to chase down Mulu now. Out comes the Whirling Death. Will not have enough damage just yet. Bendix now gonna force Ado away from this Feral Drake. Now Slicing Maelstrom comes through. Can he get the stun? Stops the teleport crucially. Now they're fighting around this Feral Drake.
Yeah, you would just assume that this dragon's going to go over to the red side here to Clique. They do still have the jungler there, but Previous is coming in. The tower dragon's getting very low. Maybe gets a smite off. Yeah, they do get the smite off.
Pick that up, but kill goes over crucially to Mythos. I mean, sorry, to Clique there. And yes, they pick up their Feral Drake. Yes, they have a Cloud Drake as well, but what can you do with it?
Yeah, no, very unfortunate there that Clique didn't manage to take the dragon after taking quite a good fight afterwards. Great stopwatch play from OSP there to manage to mitigate a lot of the Tristana damage, getting them that 2v2. It did look like Ollie and Ollie were going to get that kill, but it wasn't so.
I think you can call it worth giving up one kill for their Feral Drake. You have additional scaling from it, and you don't get a huge amount of immediate gold, but it's worth a lot more to you in the long run.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we do see actually Medjai's being picked up by Satanel here. Great pickup on Yumi just as a champion, but also very confident that there will be a lot of kills in this game.
Yeah, why not? You're just going to be really not exposed at all as this Yumi, apart from when you want to dodge away from the person that you're attached to. Just get a couple of auto attacks out, and then you can just use the U to me to get back, and it's a pretty decent pickup, as you said. Now 3 stacks on that Medjai Soul Stealer. Let's see if he can get a few more.
Yeah, and we can see both top sides moving up towards that Herald. They know that's the next objective they want to be taking. Just getting a lot of vision from both sides that they're coming out.
trying to establish their own. Actually, is he trying to sneak away this Rift Herald? I think he is.
Yeah, no, I don't think that they're aware of it quite now. You see Bendix moving and take out the vision, but it looks like they're going to be able to take it. I don't think that Vi's aware of it yet.
Yeah, I don't think that Rift Herald Shrine actually spots it out, because I think he just blast planted over the back wall and just playing Gatekeeper now. Acker's going to keep Extra Cheeky away, and this should be a free pickup.
Yeah, no, it's great. And to get it so early, hopefully they can use it before the 14-minute mark where the plates go down. Probably seeing that going to be moving into the middle or top. Yeah, they ping to the top side. They're going to try and use that Herald to get those plates. That's going to be a really big gold influx for Akkers. And already being so far ahead in CS, that's going to be huge in the 1v1 matchup.
It is going to be so good for him. As Extra Cheeky gonna try and cull this wave, but Shelly gonna get a nice bop onto this tower anyway. And then eventually it will be going down. Ghost Golden in the middle lane. That's a nice shockwave, but won't do a lot. Just to try and keep him alive, and that is beautiful. He will be going down in the middle lane. Flagger drag to safety now, just trying their best to pick up this first brick turret.
Yeah, no, great ultimate there coming up from Cassiopeia to finish that kill off, and it's a good cross-map play from Mythos to be able to take something in the mid lane. Still lose out due to the tower plates, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, you kind of take it and leave it, because you get a nice amount of tower plates, and it gives you a nice amount of pressure, and Akkers was already up, I think, when that play started, he was up by 20 CS, so he's doing pretty well for himself in that top side, and already he has a 400, almost 500 gold lead over his opponent.
Yeah, no, it's looking pretty good right now. Starting to pick up the Black Cleaver. He's already got the Mercury Treads to be able to fight against Kennen. Really crucial item if you want to be mitigating a lot of that Kennen CC as well.
And is it a surprise that we see Extra Cheeky going for the AP Kennen?
No, I don't think so. I think to be able to match the team fight, it's probably just what he's more comfortable on. Not everyone's able to play like both AP and AD Kennen, so probably just a comfort thing coming from him, especially seeing the Aerie come out. That is typically what you would see on the old AP Kennen before Klepto became a real thing. So again, it's probably just a comfort sort of thing.
Well, so far he's doing pretty decently into one of our better top laners, and Extra Cheeky might be caught out here. Darkened Blade comes through, misses two of them. Darkened Feral Trains will pull him back, but well played by Extra Cheeky.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's just popping the E when he needs to, backing off. Akka's going really aggro.
Whirling Death does a lot of damage, forces Ollie away. Vi towards the bottom side, might be able to get a pick here. Flag and Drag comes through as well as the final chapter. OSP picks up that kill, gets a nice amount of influx of gold there. Let's use the Q to try and get away as the Vi. And Akka's in a lot of trouble here, has to flash away from the slicing Maelstrom. Use the flash by Extra Cheeky as well, pops the World Ender. Does he have enough damage to try and trade it back? Extra Cheeky is going to be the target here, misses the Darkened Blade. Gonna get one more auto attack to try and finish it off. Q, in comes the Cataclysm as well, has Bendix nearby, one more auto attack does it, and Previous picks up that kill. Akkers was doing so badly in that trade, but managed to turn it completely around in that top side.
And that's what I was seeing, the insane healing from the World Ender managed to keep him in that fight and almost net him a kill afterwards after everything was used from Extra Cheeky, but a good flash from him there, and a great play on bot side from Clique as well to be able to pick up this kill, and the Dragon hopefully as well.
This will be another Cloud Drake, but it will be the first Cloud Drake, first Drake of the game picked up by Clique. And it's a little bit of a consolation prize.
Yeah, it's a shame it wasn't another one of the Infernals, but I think they'll take it.
Yeah. It's not the greatest RNG for the side of Clique, because they got a Cloud Drake there. The next Drake that is available is another Cloud Drake. And it's not an Infernal Drake that was picked up by Mythos earlier on, so it still has a little bit of better scaling thanks to the Drake on the side of Mythos.
Yeah, I mean, it's with the advantage you would hope that the Infernal Drake would pop up for you, or maybe something else a bit more useful like a Mountain, but I suppose they'll probably try and play to it again, but it won't be very high on their list of objectives to take.
engages in the top side with the ultimate. The assaulted boundary comes through as well as the heal now, trying to get away.
Do you see a TP coming in from Akers as well on the backline? He does have ultimate.
Yeah, Akers uses the ultimate. Out comes the Whirling Death as well as Ado is going to try to trade some damage back. Extra Tiki goes down. Buster Shot knocks Akers away. Going to try and get them disengaged now. Mulu.
He's gotten the reset.
Something. The tower is so low here. Mulu, one more auto attack will do it. Probably projectile gets the slow. OSP manages to find the kill credit. And Ado will be going down as well, completely in favor of Clique here. And on the side, Soy looking for to try and get some purchase in this lane, trying to arrest something. But we'll just get this blue buff. Might be going down anyway. Oh, I got stolen away by Bendix. You cheeky man.
Yeah, and I mean, we're starting to see the advantages coming out for Clique there, where we would expect. Previs actually doing a really solid one there, managing to dive in and lead the team where he needed to. And a great TP from Akers as well to come in on that backline. Didn't have much impact in the end, but to be able to force out the Tristana ulti was really good.
Very, very useful. And if we want to put our eyes onto that Magi Soul Stealer for Sentinel as well, he's sitting on 11 stacks on that Magi Soul Stealer. So he's going to be pumping out even more damage. And he's already doing a decent amount of damage with his Prowling Projectile that we saw earlier on, just chunking out Ollie in the lane. But laning phase has officially ended thanks to the tier 1 going down in both the top and the bot. You're going to have to try and trade one back, try and pick up some of these towers for yourselves on the side of Mythos.
Yeah, I think it'll be really difficult for them at the moment. I mean, I think almost every lane is in a CS deficit. A gold deficit. The items being picked up by Clique right now, they're going to be really strong. Everyone's very, very close, as you see Draven or Orianna very close to that second item. It's going to be really difficult to clear waves against them and try and take any objectives, I think.
So what do you do on the side of Mythos at this point? You're behind by 5,000 gold, give or take. You're not doing super hot at this point. You're kind of bleeding out a little bit. Yes, it's not even 20 minutes into the game yet. You have Infernal Drake, you have Scaling, you have Tristana, AP Kennen, Cassiopeia, so you're not drowning, but you're starting to fall a little bit further behind. A lot of stacks on that Magi Soul Steal. You have a Draven, 1.5 items. What do you do at this point to try and arrest a little bit of control of the game?
I'd be looking towards the Kennen with a TP flank or maybe his ultimate. I think that's probably one of the only ways they really win a team fight, unless they get a very godlike Cassiopeia role. I think if Clique overextend themselves quite a lot and Kennen does manage to get
like that, final chapter will be used. Whirling Death, actually, the pullback on it picks up that kill. Now 3-1. We'll be able to go back and pick up his Infinity Edge. So that's a great power spike for the Draven, picking up so much gold with that passive.
Yeah, we were talking about ways.
Oh my god, he got caught out. We were talking about it. You just need to not get caught out 2 times in a row. Muli went in, he got caught out, said to the team, okay guys, I'm dead here. Vi seems to go, oh, I'll just check in on that for you. And he got caught out himself. This is Baron.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to contest this at all. Maybe the Kennen can move in, but it's probably just going straight over the Clique there. And like we were saying, they just need to wait for Clique to make a mistake, then moving with a Kennen flank, and that's their way back in. Getting caught out like that is not the way back in.
It definitely isn't, and it widens that gold gap between the two teams. Now 7,500 gold in favor of Clique.
That's 8, isn't it?
It's looking dire.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know, 7.5. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's looking extremely dire for them at this point. It's very early on, and to have that much of a gold lead going over to the enemy team is very frightening. We are looking at the dragon coming up now. It is only, like we mentioned, an air drake, but I think they'll be picking it up nonetheless. They'll be using the Baron to be able to try and push in this mid tower finally. That's a really important objective for them to get. I think that Mythos have a chance of defending it. They do have significant wave clear on their side, and they're going in.
But they go for the engage. They have some engage back, though. As OSP will manage to get the Whirling Death out, as well as the final chapter. The heal was used by Sentinel, though. Extra Cheeky goes in with a great slicing. Maelstrom picks off the Draven, goes golden just by a little bit of time. Bendix, shockwave, so much damage! Ado has to get the hell out of there! Rocket jump to safety for Ollie as well. Had to use the heal just to keep himself and his jungler alive. Akers on the flank as well. With the Baron and power push, they're gonna decimate this tier 1 tower. They're looking for more. They want the tier 2.
Yeah, and we saw the Kennen, like we said, going in there, getting a good ulti off, managing to take out OSP, but the team fight there from Pravius and Bendix with the Orianna and Jarvanol was insane.
It was a 3-man shockwave that just tore through the health lines of Mythos. That's 2 tier 2s taken down in a matter of seconds. That's 3 towers from 1 push.
Yeah, no, insane. It's exactly what Clique need to be doing. Keep pressing their leads with that Baron, taking the objectives, and they're going to get the Dragon next.
It's only a Cloud Drake, but will help with rotations. It will be the second Cloud Drake of the game for Clique. And it will help them out quite a bit, rotating from top to mid to bot, wherever they want to go to try and access this pressure.
And all of the items being picked up now onto Clique. All of the massive gold lead now, almost 10k at this stage in the game. I mean, we were betting Clique at the start, but it's almost secured now.
I hate to say it at 23 minutes into a game, especially with nice scaling from both teams, but is it done and gone for Mythos?
As long as Clique play out properly, it really should be. This game should be over in, most ways, but mistakes can happen. We saw in last game how what it should have been a 20-minute game managed to end up developing into a 40-minute game. Similar mistakes could happen. Kennen does have TP available for him now. He could get off some decent flanks. I don't see any decent wards for him at the moment, but if they can get some out for him, maybe that's a way back into it, but it's still looking very bleak.
Yeah, very dire indeed for Mythos, and being 10,000 gold behind is just not a place that they wanted to see themselves in. 19 stacks on the Magias for Sentinel as well. 2 items being hit by all of the carries on Mythos, while you are at 2.5 items now on the carries of Clique. And Mr. Cheeky, underneath the tower, can't even
Great Zhonya's
sustain himself. And Akers has to piece out there. As you said, a great Zhonya's just to buy himself a bit of time, but can't even fight underneath his own tower.
Yeah, no, I mean, if it weren't for that Zhonya's, we'd be looking at that bot tower going down. Akers would be pushing that straight in. The rest of the team would collapse around him. So you saw how much damage the Extra Cheeky was able. Well, the Extra Cheeky's tower was able to pump out. That was all that was really going on. It was mainly Akers going in there, taking him down. But yeah, that's what I mean. The 1v1 is just starting to get out of control for a lot of people.
It just feels like there's nothing that they could do. You said that if Clique close it out the way that they should, if they just play the game the way that they should do, then it's just a done and gone game. It's just GG, go next almost.
We do see the Baron coming up in about a minute and a half. That's probably where they'll be looking to take and then push through and sort out the rest of the game. There is a bit too much wave clear on the side of Mythos for them to be able to just brute force it without some sort of pick or taking the Baron before. So I would expect this game to go on for about 5 minutes longer, but as long as the Baron's taken out and they manage to get a good push or a good pick, they should be over soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be so hard for Mythos to try and come back into this game, and almost has Static Shiv or Rapid Fire Cannon finished on OSP for his 3rd item. The Feral Drake coming up in 2 minutes 10 seconds, give or take, 1 minute 10 until Baron. So these are the next 2 objectives that want to be fought around. But if you can't fight around the Baron, if you lose that Baron fight, you're gonna lose the game on the side of Mythos.
Yeah, definitely. Mythos lose one more team fight, the game's 100% over for them. There's nothing that they'll be able to do to stop it. And I mean, I can envision a team fight around the Baron or maybe the Dragon where Mythos can come back with some really great plays, but with the team fighting champions on Clique, with Orianna and the likes of J4, a team fight's just not how I think it's going to happen. I can't foresee a way that they lose that.
I'm struggling to find a silver lining for them. It's just so difficult. Even just trying to push out the waves here, they're being suffocated almost. They're prepping now these waves forward to rotate towards the Baron. OSP backing just to pick up his Zeal item. He has the teleport available to follow up, and it will be the Rapid Fire Cannon, so he has even more damage and even more range.
Yeah, no, you really have to be worried about that Draven now. The Orianna and Draven, both 3 items, they're going to be pumping out so much damage in these team fights. And I mean, no one even near the Baron, no one's going to be contesting this. Maybe they're trying for a pick on the bot side, but nothing's come of it, and this is just going to be a free Baron.
Yeah, burning down, not the fastest Baron we've ever seen, but It is going down quite quick. Nothing they can do to try and contest this. Akers isn't even there. He's just free pushing in the bottom side, and Cannon and Vi, they're a bit too scared to try and contest him even 2 versus 1.
Yeah, I mean, just expect the waves to be pushed in here. They do have decent... Oh, Previous moving down slightly. Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of hit the tower, finish the game.
Yeah, 4-1 push. It's a classic move, and they're going to try and push out this wave as best they can, but even with the Tristana, even with the Cassiopeia, there doesn't seem a lot that they can do, especially with Akers pushing in the bottom side. And extra cheeky, we know, we've seen it before, he cannot respond to this Aatrox push.
No, yeah, and you see level 16 being hit on the Akers there. He's going to be extremely strong with that ultimate as well. They are moving down to him. He needs to back off here, otherwise the Vi could jump on him.
Just gonna try and push out this wave, make sure that the Baron Empowered Cannon Minion won't be able to finish off that tower, but this will be the first Infernal Drake of the game going over to Clique, so that will equalize and then give an advantage to Clique over Mythos. It is now 2 Cloud Drakes to the 1 Cloud Drake and 1 Infernal apiece.
Yeah, I mean, they're being very slow and very methodical about it. Not going the way of Viperio last game, where they try and brute force things maybe a bit too early and make a few mistakes, so that's fair enough. They will need to be using this Baron to try and chip away at those towers, though. If they don't, the longer the game stalls out, the more items that Mythos will be able to pick up and maybe pull themselves back into it.
But Ollie has picked up an Executioner's Calling, so has some grievous wounds now against the Draven with the Bloodthirster, against the Yuumi with the healing from the Zoomies, and against the Aatrox, which, as we all know, has a nice amount of healing in his kit.
Yeah, no, definitely a very vital item for them to be able to have some sort of strength in teamfights and stop the massive healing coming from Draven and Aatrox. I am surprised it didn't come out a little bit sooner, if I'm honest, but it's great to have it now.
Looking for an engage here. Previous will not be able to find it with the flag and drag. Actually get the safety there. Now just using the Baron Power minion push to chip away at these towers, then they'll be able to find maybe a pick, maybe a fight to close out the game. Now they're looking
they are
for
heading towards Akers here.
The bottom side.
The tower goes down anyway.
Available. Feral Chains pulls him back and goes golden with the Zanyas just by a little bit of time. Addo, they're not sure if they want to engage it, but Flag and Drag with the Cataclysm comes through Final Chapter as well. Will loot him down. Addo should be going down here as well as his top laner. Extra Cheeky will go down first, and Vi will manage to get away, but this inhib will be torn down by Clique. And they're slowly but surely pushing further and further into the space. They got the mid inhib as well. Top, they don't really seem to care about it. They still have the Baron Powered push. They're just slowly choking out the side of Mythos.
Yeah, no, they got that bot wave now moving in. They will be able to pick up that first tower.
First tower of the Nexus Towers goes down, goes in for the last desperation fight. He'll be taken down by Bendix. This Nexus Tower, the last one remaining, will just go down, just fall.
And I mean, Previous is so tanky.
He is just chasing Tristana under his last remaining tower. They're onto the Nexus. This should be the end of the game, but they're just toying with their food. One last all attack will do it, and Clique pick up their first win.
Yep, just as expected. I mean, they managed to clean it out, take it out much cleaner than Viperio did. But yeah, great victory coming out from the side of Clique, and really good performance from Previous, actually, I think. I think he managed, apart from that first early gank that didn't pay off so much,